Hello. I just wanted to check in briefly with all you ministers around the district and simply to ask you, how are you? Because I just recognise how challenging these days continue to be and how relentless, in a way, these days are as we move through the various phases of going into lockdown, getting used to lockdown, wondering how long lockdown will last for, then recognizing that coming out of lockdown is a whole deal more complicated than going into lockdown. And I'm just so conscious that I hear and I recognize in myself and in others who I talk to just how challenging it is on a personal level to stay well and to stay healthy and to stay close to those who matter the most to us: God, our families, our own souls. So I just want to check in with you and just offer my support, just to invite and ask and almost challenge you to be really careful in asking yourself how you are and how you're coping, and to give you permission to do all that you need to do to look after yourself really well. So, what is it that we're facing? I think we're still facing tiredness, aren't we? That unexpected, uh, uneasy tiredness that comes from these days. For some, I think there's anxiety, that we're feeling anxious about what we can't do and what we would want to do, and the uncertainty about the future. Guilt. It's so easy, isn't it, for us as ministers to feel guilty about what we can't do that we'd love to be doing, guilty about what we think other people think we should be doing and we can't be doing. Um, Also, all that stuff around lament, around what we've lost and what we're not able to do, and we're wondering when we will be able to do it and whether we'll be able to do it. And in amongst all of that, our hopes that I know many of us have been describing for how these days might shape a different future. And our hopes are good things, but then perhaps sometimes our hopes then lead to fears that our hopes will not be fulfilled. And we become slightly worried about that. Um, all of this playing out in different ways, I'm sure. And I simply, as I say, I just want to say to us all, let's take care of ourselves, and within our staff gatherings, let's be careful to look after each other, recognizing that when we're in these times and we're struggling ourselves, then sometimes our relationships one with another, they can be places that struggle too. Nadia Bolz-Weber, uh, American pastor, just tweeted this the other day: "Every single pastor I know is exhausted. Twice the work, doing stuff they are half as good at, with almost none of the emotional and relational benefits coming back to them. Can we agree to give ourselves some respite? It might still be a long haul." So I'm simply wanting to say to you, be gentle, be careful with yourselves. Um, Try to find those places where you can find energy and rest. Find those people who give you that too. Just reminded in Mark's Gospel, as Jesus sent out the 12 and they come back, in verse 30 of chapter 6, we read, "The apostles gathered around Jesus and told him all that they had done and taught. He said to them, 'Come away to a deserted place all by yourselves and rest a while.' For many were coming and going, and they had no leisure even to eat. And they went away in the boat to a deserted place by themselves." Not for long as it happened, but just encourage you to find the boat where you can be just by yourself or with others who you treasure, or with God, in that sense of falling apart in Him and allowing Him to restore you. If there's anything I can do to help and support, please do be in touch. Let's look after each other well as this journey continues. I send you my love and the assurance of my continued care and prayers. God bless.